All right, everyone. We are live. It is Monday, November 20th, 2023, MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin, joined by my co-host here, Mr. Big Marcel, 24. Not Big Marcel. We got Big Marcel, the real one here. So going to be recapping UFC Vegas 82, Alan Craig. And then next podcast, we're going to preview UFC, or PFL Championship. And we'll talk more about the Bellator and PFL deal, I think, on the next podcast. It just makes more sense to do it that way, I think, because it is a PFL podcast. So I'll save my thoughts for the Bellator PFL merger until then. We'll stick to UFC Vegas 18. We'll run through this recap, I should say, and then Bellator recap, Marcel, Bellator 301, and then we'll do the next show. So get some comments. We got Clint here. We got Joe. We got Octon updates. And Marcel, how are you doing, man?
You know, I'm fume, dude. I'm always fume. So I'm fat, ugly, I'm monster energy. That's the thing. So we're fume. I'm fume. I don't know what about you, Adam. How are you feeling? I'm fume. But we're good, man. Looking forward to talk some UFC Vegas 82 recap with you, and after that, the PFL preview. So I'm fume. How about you?
Same as you, man. We got our boy Craig in the chat as well. What's going on, brother? No, yeah, I guess I'm fume too. So there we go.
Fume brothers, let's go. Let's go.
I say let's get into the recap. So let's go through the card. You know, Marcel, overall, I mean, it was a good card, I think, for both of us. Like, I only got a couple wrong on this whole card. I got Oral Buy and Saragi. I mean, the Oral Buy one, I don't even think we previewed that one. I picked Medic for the pool, for the staff pool, but I had no idea. I'll be honest with you.
I picked Oral Buy. I had Saragi wrong, and I had Perez wrong against Pudilova.
That's right. Yeah, but we did, Marcel, 2 consensus dogs, not 1 but 2.
We should have 2.
Well, sorry, we had 1 actually. Never mind.
Yeah.
we had Joe Anderson Breezu. We both called that shit, but we called Trey Ogden and he got robbed. So we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Fresh cut. Yeah, I mean, Marcel, I think just I don't talk to Marcel like much. Like, we talk a little bit, but I don't see him on video chat during the week. So like, we're sitting there video chatting at night or something, talking about each other. But we both have the same haircut, basically, Marcel.
Bro, I wasn't even gonna do it, man. But I was taking a crap and I was like, my hair looks bad, you know. I should do it, so that's why I did.
Marcel's looking in the mirror while he's shitting.
It's like annoying, like you don't have this like the same kind of thing, you know. It's really weird. This one is not so deep, but that's deeper. So
I miss being young in like my 20s. I didn't have this. I had like a full thing of hair, man. I know you did too. You used to have like an afro, basically. I think you did, didn't you?
Yeah. If I grow my hair longer, I get it like this high.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's funny. All right, let's get into the card. We'll start recapping it, top to bottom. Brendan Allen defeats Paul Craig. Rear naked choke. I think you called submission. I said TKO, but I mean, he submitted him. He looked great. That's what, 6 straight wins, I want to say. Yep, 6 straight in a row, 5 by submission, rear naked chokes, all of them. That's his specialty. 11-2 in UFC now. You know, Marcel, like, I still don't know how good he really is. Honestly, like, don't get me wrong, the guys he's beating are good. Like, they're good fighters, but he's saying I'll beat Strickland in a rematch. I have to see that myself, you know. That being said, the guy's very good. Who should he fight next?
I hope he fights Marvin Vettori next. I think that makes the most sense, you know, for the simple reason that Marvin lost his last fight against Jared Cannonier and isn't close to another title shot, you know. And listen, if you want to go a little bit slow with Brandon, you can match him against Jack Hermanson, for example, you know. I like the Vettori fight more. But the fight, man, I think he was super dominant, you know. He, at a certain moment, he had Paul in the rear naked choke, I think, in the first round, and then Paul grabbed his leg, and then he had to let go. Was some fun scrambles, you know. And you saw on the feet, Allen was clearly better than Craig, you know. And Allen is also not like an amazing fighter on the feet, you know, but he's getting better. Since he's at Killcliff FC, he's getting better on the feet as well, in my opinion. So his ground game was already always good. So yeah, man, I think he is a very talented guy, and he's only 27 or 28. He ain't that old yet, so he still has to get into his prime, and that's what he said basically as well. He's like, I'm still not even in my prime, probably, you know. So I think he has a lot of upside, man. I mean, if they match him at Marvin Vettori and he wins, he's really close to a title shot, man. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of takers in that division still, you know, and even I mean, I'd like to see him fight Kamzat, for example. You know, maybe that's crazy, but I mean,
that'd be a good
why
fight,
not?
I think.
Yeah, but I don't think UFC wants that. But yeah,
they won't. But like at 185, I don't think Kamzat's the same force as he was at 170. Personally, you know, that remains to be seen. Couple comments. We got our boy Marcus in the chat. Brendan Allen looked good. I thought there was value on Craig. I was dead wrong. I wish Allen would except Delice. Did Delice have a fight or no? I forgot.
Yeah, he's fighting Nasruddin Imavov on February 3rd.
Is it main event?
Yeah, Apex.
Okay, because I was hoping they could do Allen and Delice, but that's a good fight too. Antoine, what's up, brother? Oh, Fight Talk's here. What's up, man? Thanks again for the artwork as always. This guy always gives us artwork. Man. He's a good dude. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. If there's anything else you want me to shout out for your Fight Talk, like if there's anything I can show you out for your artwork or whatever, let me know, and I'll be glad to do that, man. Because you
likewise.
By
the way, I think I don't know. Did you listen to the pre-fight press conference of Brandon Allen with his daughter?
I remember. I did. I skipped it.
So he was basically he turned down the fight with Delice, right? So he was like, he said the thing was like I was waiting for a bigger fight. He said, and then. It basically makes sense what he said, why he turned it down at first. For us, it didn't make sense, but then what he explained, it made sense. He's like, I was supposed to fight that guy. He's like, and then something happened, and he's like, and then Delice is fighting somebody else. I'm not having a fight anymore. So he's like, yeah, I misgambled there, probably, yeah. But it's all worked out, So, but I think he's a promising guy, dude. He's like very young. And he got the skills to come far in the division, I think. And to be honest, if you look now, he has only a loss to Sean Strickland and a loss to Chris Curtis, which are not bad losses in my opinion.
They're both great guys. I mean, one's the champion. No, you're right. I mean, at the time when he lost to Strickland, I want to say Strickland took it on short notice, right? Didn't he?
I don't know anymore. It's possible.
One of them took it on short notice, but yeah, I mean, when he got knocked by him, it was like, and then the Curtis fight. I think he was even beating Chris Curtis, and then Curtis, came back and knocked him out. So he's good. Again, I still question how good he really is, but he's definitely good, especially on the ground. As far as Craig goes, I mean, I don't know. It's tough because, man, he showed up on the scale looking great again. Marcel was in amazing shape. He had I watched his press conference. He did a great job. And I'm like, okay, you got something here. And then, he basically lays an egg. He didn't look good at all in this fight. Again, it's all situational, right? Yeah, right?
Yeah, I love that. That's
analogy. Yeah. No, he's definitely, I think he's a guy that can beat other middleweights, but he's like bottom end of top 15.
It's pretty much Styles matchup for him, I think.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, this was pretty much a bad matchup because you got another good grappler, so
he's better striker.
Yeah, exactly. But for example, who else do we have in the division? I mean, guys who are like less as good at grappling and pretty good strikers. If you can take him down, he can submit him, So there is but I feel like in 205 is more his place, But maybe I'm wrong, Although he looks shredded at 185.
He looked amazing. I thought he looked good. I don't think the weight cut's really an issue. It's just that Paul Craig's an inconsistent fighter, and he's always been, right? So I don't think it's the weight cut thing.
Did you hear his impersonation of Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, dude, it was jokes. I saw it. He's a funny dude. I like him, man. He's a funny guy. Okay, a couple of comments. From a numbers rankings perspective, Allen should have fought the Louisiana ended with the lower Craig. Yes, he fucked up on that, but he ended up getting the win. Craig needs to go to a bigger gym. Where's he training? Is he with Stevie Ray and those guys? I think, right?
Yeah. The funny thing is actually that I remember when he came in the UFC, you had him, Stevie Ray, and Joanne Calderwood and Joanne Wood now, and I know Stevie and Paul didn't like each other. They really didn't like each other. And then at a certain moment, they got respect for each other. I think Paul at a certain moment even said, like, Stevie is the better guy. We are cool now, and now with the training together, that's actually fun, I think that's amazing.
I mean, we could do this for the guy for sure. I could definitely throw it
for sure, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I should have thought we should have thought of this before. My bad, dude. But yeah, no, we're happy to do that for you, man. Obviously, because you help us out, brother. Okay. Co-main event: Michael Morales, not Miles. Michael. I always call him Miles Morales, right? Like Spider-Man. That's the winner, Jake Matthews. Decently competitive fight, Marcel. Jake Matthews, according to the judges, he won the first round. I didn't see it that way. I thought Morales won all three, but it was still pretty competitive. Gets the win. He's 4-0 now in the UFC. Time for a top 15 opponent, right?
You know what it is? I think it was a really good performance, and I feel with Michael Morales that every fight he's getting better. He's also still 23 years of age, or 24. He's still young, and people were complaining that he didn't get the finish, but I think it was a perfect performance. You know, it was very mature performance against a guy who has been since his 18th or 19th in the UFC. You know, and Jake Matthews is tough, man. He's not easy to put away. You saw that in the Semmelsberger fight where he knocked him down 3 times, still came back. Obviously lost, but he came back. I mean, he stood up. But I mean, Morales, he's an interesting prospect. The thing is, like the top 15. Yeah, you can do that. You could match him up with a Michael Chiesa, I think, who is at number 14. But you also have Nicholas Dalby, who is also just outside the top 15 and who also deserves. Why not against Dalby? And hey, even if you go with South America, well, how about a Michael Morales against a Santiago Ponzinibbio? You know, I think that's a great matchup. That's a matchup against a guy who was for a long time in that top 15, who was a good. And I don't want to say was. I still think he's a good fighter, but I don't think he's top 15 anymore. You know, he's also not in top 15 anymore. But he would be a good test, you know. And I don't think the UFC should rush this guy, although I think he has a very mature performance, and I think he fought very well. And I also thought he won all 3 rounds, to be honest, Adam.
He's good. You know, Jake Matthews, again, been in the UFC for almost 10 years and, like, just super inconsistent. He's like one of those guys that's just like win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. When he did go on a win streak, it was over guys that aren't very good. He's like a gatekeeper. It's crazy because he's like only 29, but he's a gatekeeper. I mean, it's not a bad thing to be. I mean, he has like 20 fights in the UFC, and it's impressive, right? But
it's crazy. He's 29, man. I'm 34, and he's in my opinion, he's in the UFC forever. You know what I mean?
He's been in it for a long time. We'll just say that. It's hard to say what Matthew expected to get cut soon. Must be on big show money after 19 fights. Do you know what he makes? Any idea?
No.
He probably makes 50-50, I would guess, right? Something like that. You know, maybe a bit more. And Glenn's not wrong. It's a lot of money for a guy that's a gatekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Chase Hooper gets Jordan Levin out of there with a submission. No bonus for Chase. I kind of thought he could have got a bonus, but no bonus for him. Yeah, he looked great, right? Father Chase, he's going to be a dad. He's 24, I think. He's going to be a dad. Same birthday as me. I always like Chase Hooper, but he becomes a dad 24. I think I was 34. So, I mean, like, yeah, he's been busy. But, yeah, Chase Hooper's a, pretty good fighter. What's his record? 5-3 in the UFC. I mean, you know, he got wins like this over guys like Levitt who are, decent fighters. And he's 4-3 now, so he's not a bad fighter. And I think Levitt was a little distracted. His wife was getting to give birth. She might have already. I don't know. I haven't checked his social media, but she did.
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't know? Yeah, I saw his video. Alex Bahunin posted it. Was that with Alex interviewing her? Was that something he posted himself?
That was at Media Day, I think, where Alex is. So, yeah, Alex posted that.
There's another video though, like after the loss, he talked about. I don't know if he put it on his.
Okay.
I think Alex might have interviewed him, but yeah, he just said like he's a weird guy, man. Did you watch the weigh-ins? Did you see that? Hold on, I gotta show you guys. This is so fucking fun. You saw it?
Yeah, of course.
He's a fucking weirdo. Like, I like it, but like, look at this shit. What the hell, bro? And he has a haircut like Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver. You've seen that movie, right? Taxi Driver?
Yeah, for sure.
Classic. I mean, look at the haircut. He looked like a prime Chuck Liddell, though. He was look at Chase is like laughing. He's like, "What the fuck is this guy? Look at this." Marcel, he's like this.
That's funny. Chase,
he's a character, man. They're both characters.
Chase also said, like, we are probably the least intimidating fighters in the UFC fighting each other. So, did you hear what Levitt said about the UFC Apex?
No.
He's like, oh, I love the Apex. He's like, it's so cozy. I can see all the 14 people in the crowd, and I might recognize one, my fan.
Yeah, no doubt. Apparently, it was his first time his like mom and like wife saw a fight or something. I saw that. I don't know. That's surprising, I guess.
I gotta give credit to Hooper, man. For a long time, I was like, this dude went way too early to the UFC. Isn't that great? You know, he has a good ground game, but the striking not that great. But I feel like the last couple of fights, since he's at lightweight, he's being better, you know. And I think, listen, I'm not a fighter, but I felt like the Levitt's game plan was kind of odd, you know, with going. I felt Hooper is a better grappler than he is, you know. And he showed. Well, some fun scrambles on the ground, and good win for Hooper, man. I'm happy for the dude. You know, he still seems so young, right? He has such a young. He
24.
But he looks 18. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, good for him, man.
Do you remember his nickname used to be the Teenage Dream?
Teenage Dream, yeah.
You know what? He's growing up in the UFC. He actually looked the last fight he had against that Nick Fiore guy. In strike, he looked amazing in that fight. Mm-hmm. Now he goes back to the ground. So it's interesting. But yeah, he did get taken down, I think, right? In this fight, and Levitt was on top of him. It doesn't say he got credit with the takedown. I thought he got taken down. Maybe he pulled guard, but yeah, was able to reverse position and get the submission. Couple comments, gain the dad strength. It's real. It's real. Since Chase is showing improvements, what do you guys think he can do in the future? I mean, Antoine, like, he's so young that he can still like make a lot of improvements, but I don't know how good. I don't know how good his striking will ever be. I mean, he looked good in the last fight, but again, I don't know how good he'll ever be. And at this division, I don't know.
That's like one of the best divisions in MMA. 155. Even if you're in the top 30, you're probably in any other division, you're top 15. So.
Yeah, I just think the guy like Levitt's not bad. I think Levitt's he's like a decent fighter, but the Fiore guy is just not very good. I don't know if that's not really a quality win in my opinion. So. And then Steve Garcia, was that featherweight? The Steve Garcia one, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, featherweight. He fucked up in that fight, man. And then he beat that guy Felipe Colares. I think he was the last guy to beat him before he got killed. Right?
Possibly, yeah.
He got killed, didn't he? Someone run him over or something?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I know I don't want to say killed. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he got hit by a bus.
Yeah, okay.
Fucking terrible. He's 29 years old. That guy.
Yeah,
he actually wasn't. Man. Yeah, actually, he did have another fight after that. I'm looking at that guy's record. He fought for Aries FC earlier this year. I forgot about that.
Okay.
He got run over by a bus. That's really sad. He was 29 years old. I think that guy should have been cut, to be honest with you. He could have got one more fight because the Chase Super fight was like, and he fought Chris Gutierrez in a split decision. Like, it wasn't that bad to that guy.
I also think that his wife from Colares just gave birth to a kid like 2 months earlier or something. So
Jesus, that's terrible. That is fucking tragic. He wants Poyas. Yeah, he does want Claudio Poyas. I heard that. That would be a good fight. I'd like to see that one. Let's go to the next fight. Peyton Talbot, third round submission. Loses the first round. That Aguirre guy takes him down, controls him. And then Aguirre gets tired. Peyton Talbot comes back in the second and third round submits him. I thought he would knock him out, so his submission's even better. I think the guy's good. I think he's a good prospect. He is 25. Yeah, he's 25. So actually, it's crazy. Chase Hooper's younger than him. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That is wild. But yeah, he's 25. I think he's good. I think he's a good prospect. What do you think?
I think he's a good prospect, but I hope the UFC is not going to rush him. You know what I mean? I think the first round was an indication to me that it wasn't that he might be a way too high of a favorite in that fight coming in. I think it was a minus 700 or something. Way too high of a favorite. You saw in the first round. And Nick Aguirre, he got tired, lost the second round. And the third round, he barely fought, man. He tried to take down, but Talbot came in full mount and he took over. So, well done by Talbot, man. After a tough first round, he came back. And good for him, man. He looked also good on the Contender Series against Reyes Cortez Jr., right? Tracy Cortez's brother. I look forward to what he's going to do next. Is at least somebody who is already making a name for himself after his first fight, because a lot of people are talking about him. So they try. The thing that is always like very tricky is that people are going to try to compare you with O'Malley. You know what I mean? Because of the hair, because of the young guy. And that's something they shouldn't do. Let this guy write his own story.
He's not there yet.
Yeah,
he's not championship level yet. I mean, he got, like you said, wrestled by a guy who's. I think that Aguirre guy is going to be cut probably, right? Maybe he gets one more. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think he's very good. John, what's up, brother? He says you see the potential of Talbot shooting rush, just like Marcel said. I think, John, you're in the Discord now, aren't you? James's Discord. I'm pretty sure that's you, the John B guy. I think that's it. Yeah. Ghost, what's up, brother? How's it going? Another guy in the chat. All you guys are in the Discord too. It's awesome. We have like our little community. We're in there and here. I'm more in that Discord now than on X. Personally, Marcel. I'm not. I called it.
It's for me. It's for me kind of like sometimes when I want to like discuss with people, I'm going to Discord because it's fun, and I can be a little bit more like how would James say it? James would say I'm vanilla on YouTube. He always says. I can be a little bit less vanilla on Discord.
Yeah, you can be a little bit more. Yeah, like the real you on the Discord. Oh, he's not in it. It's not him. I thought, John, I swear I thought it was you because there's a guy named John B, and he kind of looks like you. Like he kind of does. I thought it was him. Man. I really did.
James has a Discord, man. I mean, it's really fun. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. What's next? Amanda Hebus, or girl Marcel. Great performance. I mean, listen, the first round she got fucked up a bit too with the punches. Like Pinheiro was really tagging her in that first round. Like I was like, wow, and her face swelled up really quick, and her eye was like basically shut. But second round comes back after Pinheiro gasses, and third round finishes her head kick and then punches at the end. with about a minute left. I think this was one of Hebus's best wins. She got a bonus, well-deserved bonus. And especially coming off the loss to Macy Barber, right, where she got fucked up in that fight too. So I gotta be honest, I'm a little bit worried about this girl though going forward because man, she's been taking a lot of damage. She did win this fight; it was a good win, but took a lot of damage again. Like at the post fight, you saw her; she had the glasses on and didn't want people to see her face, how it looked. I think Amanda's a pretty good fighter, better at this weight class. I'll say that to you, but took a lot of damage. And for Pinheiro, her first loss in the UFC, and I still think she's a decent prospect, but the cardio is just bad. It was really bad in this fight. So, yeah, any thoughts?
Yeah, I wouldn't have gave her the performance of the night, but I would go with the fight of the night for both, probably. I think that would be more appropriate. Yeah, first round, Pinheiro looked really good, and the funny thing was actually that Amanda tried to take it to the ground, but Pinheiro wanted to keep it standing, and at a certain moment, that kind of changed, Ribas came back great in the second round. She took the second round. It was 1-1 going into the third. And I was like, Ribas going to take over now, and then Pinheiro gets on top of her on the ground. I was like, if she can ride this out, she might steal the round here. But she couldn't, and that great spinning back kick landed. And, she finished her punches. I mean, it's not how we expected it to go, but I basically said, like you as well, Pinheiro's gas tank is suspect, man. We saw it also in the Watterson fight, in my opinion, and you saw it even more in this fight. She had a great first round. Amanda came back, finished her. I mean, great win for Amanda. Yeah. That's a win she needed, Her last three fights were at flyweight. She's now back at strawweight. The only thing is, like, everybody above her is a very difficult fight, You can do the Dern rematch, which she already won, but it makes sense. The Rodriguez rematch, which she lost, but who else? You got to go much further. You know what I would do? Listen, man, I think Ribas did great, but I think Lupe Godinez would deserve maybe to fight her. I would book that fight, man. Book it for February if possible for the Mexico card.
Sure. Yeah, no, I like that fight. A couple comments. UFC, what's up, Daniel? UFC gets criticized for not promoting fighters when they get behind prospects such as Talbot. We should give him credit. Yeah, Talbot, he's a good prospect. I think Marcel's just saying he's 25. Bantamweight's fucking stacked. There's no point in rushing him. I think that's what you're saying, right?
So. Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously he has something special. Everybody sees it. But don't go too crazy. Because listen, if he steamrolls Nick Aguirre after 1 or 2 minutes, I'm saying give him somebody. But right now he got controlled for 5 minutes on the ground in the first round, and I was like, damn, dude. I mean, if you're fighting better guys who have a gas tank, you might have trouble, so don't go too quick. But man, if he keeps winning and he got like on a new contract or whatever, give him a better opponent, you know what I mean? But don't go too quick.
No doubt. Who should Ribas fight? I think Lupe's a good fight, right? Makes sense. Ribas has been impressive physicality. Yeah. No, the fight with Chukagian was close too at 125. What happened to Chukagian? I feel like she's disappeared off the face of the earth. I don't know what happened to her.
Yeah, she also changed her name, but
she did.
Yeah, official. I don't know if it was hers on UFC. I don't know if it's still there, but they changed it here and there. It's Sermonara or something.
She married that. He's like a wrestling coach or something. Her husband. Yeah. Okay, yeah. No, I see it on her Instagram, right? But I don't know. Caitlin gets criticized a lot, right, for the hut, but like, I mean, she's a good fighter, man. She wins a lot of fights, So she hasn't fought in a year now. It's crazy. All right, let's get to more.
Last time she fought Fiora, right?
Yeah, she lost. It was pretty close. It was pretty close.
Close fight, also, yeah.
Muktabak Oralbai. I think that's right. Muktabak, is that how you pronounce it, or Miktabak?
I say Miktabak Oralbai, but I don't know for sure.
Oralbai, guy looks fucking great, man. I mean, honestly, Marcel, with Medic having the full camp and this guy coming short notice, I was like, okay, I'll just pick Medic, but I had no idea, I'd listened to some other podcasts and guys had really done the tape study on Oralbai, and they were like, yo, this guy's really fucking good. Like, he's really dangerous, and he's 25 too. He's only 25 too. He looked amazing. I mean, I think he should have got a bonus. For coming in on short notice, he had 7 takedowns, and he submitted Medic. He's the second guy to finish Medic. That's a bonus winning performance. What do you think?
Of course. Yeah, I don't
How
understand.
How did he not get 50K? That is fucking bullshit.
He also made weight on 4 days notice.
Yes.
So, I mean, yeah.
That is fucking bullshit.
I don't understand it,
Sorry, I'm pissed off.
I mean, Matic started well, man. He tagged him. He almost finished him in the first round, you know.
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
the wrestling came in, and he was way too good of a wrestler for him, you know. And he got that nasty ass neck crank in the second round. Yeah, good win, man. He had Slava in his corner. I think he trains a Team Alpha male as well, Mertebek or Obai. So yeah, good win for him, man. And he already got a win in LFA, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago with a crazy knockout. Yeah, interesting guy.
He is. He's Kyrgyzstan, right? I think
Yeah.
that's his country. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's definitely interesting. I think he's rose from 400 BC. There's been a lot of comments about this guy, but yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I think he's just a good fighter. Our consensus dog of the night, Marcel Joannish and Brito defeats Jonathan Pierce. I got to be honest, it wasn't looking great there, but Pierce, I don't know, he lost his focus. He starts like talking shit to the guy, like, "What are you doing? Come on, do something!" And then the guy submits you. It's like, I mean, listen, I thought that submission was live. I thought he would knock him out, but submission's live. Brito's 4-1 in the UFC now, 4 straight wins, and he has that win over Diego Lopez from Contender Series. Marcel, I think he's really good. What do you think?
I had my doubts after the fight, to be really honest, dude, because
wrestling's a little concerning.
Yeah, because Pierce looked good,
yeah.
But Pierce made one small mistake, and he took his neck there, and that was really good. Yeah, it was actually funny because Pierce was like, "Yeah, what you gonna do about it?" And then, like 30 seconds later, he was in a choke. Yeah, I mean, good win for Brito. He took his pants off, celebrated. He wants Dan Egan next, I think. I'd be okay with it. Why not? You know, good win. You know, we both picked him. And actually, both Brito and Pierce lost their first their UFC debut, right? But
Yes.
yeah, I was more confident in Brito. If you look at the fight, maybe not really shouldn't have been maybe, but he got the win. So yeah, good for him. Good finish. And Pierce is not an easy guy to finish, you know, although Lozon did in the debut, but still he looked good after that. So yeah.
Yep, that's fair. I missed a couple of comments. Orobai could get rushed at lightweight. Is he dropping back down? I know he's fought at lightweight, or is he
no idea, my friend. I have no idea.
He's looked good at 170. I don't think he should move, but I mean he could. There's definitely that possibility. Pierce a strong grappler, not being able to finish Rodriguez. Yeah, that's true. When he fought Christian Rodriguez. Okay. Well, for me, it's just always because Joe Lozon knocked him out. So I was always like, I don't really know how good this guy really is. I mean, he's stylistic again, great grappler, but the durability is concerned. Actually, I think it's the third time Pierce has been submitted in his career. So, Jose Johnson, Marcel defeats Chad Hellinger. He looked good too, right? Gets the submission with 11 seconds left. Yeah, I mean, again, he could have got a bonus, but there's just so many finishes on this card. And if this is a card with like 4 or 5 finishes, he probably gets one, but he didn't get one. Any thoughts quickly on Jose? Or is it Jose or Jose? I keep calling him like Aldo, but is it Jose or Jose?
I think I would say it's he's from the Dominicans, right? So it's Spanish. So it's Jose. It's Jose. It's Jose.
Yeah. I keep saying like Jose Aldo like that, right? So it's my fault.
Yeah,
yeah. Jose Johnson.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Whatever, Johnson. You know, Johnson did well. Yeah, I felt like Hellinger didn't do bad either. You know, but I mean, Johnson was the better guy. You know, and he got the finish late in the third round. Yeah, good win for him. You know, his first win in the UFC after that the Twister loss in his debut, which was on short notice against Demond Blackshear. Yeah, good win. What can you say else about it? Happy for the dude. You know, he had some problems after the Contender Series and getting a fight. And yeah, like I said last week, man, I remember him fighting on the Contender Series against Jack Cartwright, and I was impressed back then because Cartwright was a really big prospect from coming from the Cage Warriors, and he was really good against him. So yeah, good for Johnson.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then Christian Leroy Duncan, we didn't talk about this fight because it was short notice. He knocks out Dennis Tululin. I mean, this was an easy pick, let's be honest. Like, Leroy Duncan is still a pretty good prospect. I know he lost that fight to Petrosian, but he's still a good prospect. And then Tululin, super short notice. I would give him one more fight, though, because he took it on like 3 days' notice, right?
Yeah, I'm with you there because, like you said, he took it on 3 or 4 days' notice, super short. He helped the UFC because I think he stayed in Las Vegas because he trains at Extreme Couture, right?
Strickland, those guys,
yeah. So, I mean, we both picked Cesar Almeida, right, against Duncan if the original matchup. But yeah, I figured Duncan would get the job done.
Yeah.
I think Duncan started really like slow in the first round.
Yeah.
Actually, where it's like, huh,
Yeah.
okay, but he was winning it still, and then the second round he was like, okay, I'm gonna put him away, and he did. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. I was gonna say though, like I'm looking at Tululan, like lost to Duncan, lost to Robocop, lost to Park, and Kizriev. Like those guys are all good fighters too. Like again, they're not scrubs, right? By the way,
only one against Pickett.
Yeah, Pickett. Well, like yeah, Pickett's not good. Kizriev though, is he moving down a weight class? That Kizriev guy?
Now he's fighting Mahmoud Muradov, right?
So he's fighting. That's right. He is at 185 still. Holy crap! Because he's short. He's 5'9", right? He's a small guy. Nick Parkin versus Kyle Machado. Do we have to talk about this fight? Can we skip this one? This fight was fucking terrible. It's the worst fight in the card. I thought Machado won, actually. And if you look at the stats, he actually did outland Nick Parkin in the first and third round. I thought he won the decision. What did you think?
Man, I'm just surprised that it wasn't the main card, was not good, I mean, Parkin has some hype here in Europe because he's Tom Aspinall's teammate and he's undefeated. But I haven't been impressed by the guy, to be really honest, besides the Contender Series win. I think his first fight against Pokes sucked in England, and this fight was also great, So listen, man, maybe he can still improve. He's still young. He's still early in his career, but not great to watch. Kyle Machado, also not a great Dana Contender Series fight against that Saflarsky guy. Was one of the worst fights. He got the contract. Good for him. And this one, this was like, if you give it to Machado, you won't hear me complain. If you gave it to Parkin, you won't hear me complain. A, because it was a close fight, I felt, and two, I didn't give a shit. So it was like, we talked already too much about this fight. I'm sorry, Adam. Let's
move on. This fight's boring. I hate this fight. It was just like I don't like these shitty heavyweight fights. They make me fall asleep. I was like, this fight's it's just bad. Like it's just like it's not a good look. Like, and again, I think the decision was wrong. Looking at the stats, 76-39 in strikes. I understand he had the 3 takedowns, McParkin, but again, it is supposed to be damage over control. The guy doubled it in strikes. I think that's the wrong winner, right?
They're not consistent, the judges. They're not consistent.
No. Again, I know Mick won that second round. There's no doubt. But the first and third, Kyle outstruck him. He should have won. I think what happened was Kyle got a little tired with like the last minute, and Mick started coming forward and landed a few punches, and that swayed the judges. But yeah, anyways, let's move on. This fight was bad. Jeka Saragi. Remember last week I was like, Marcel, this is your boy. And you're like, no, he's not my guy at all. Like, remember you said, dude, you should have picked him. You should have been like, yeah, he's my boy. You should have lied to me and just said he was your boy. Bro, huge upset. Gets the bonus. Huge upset, Marcel. Plus 400 underdog first round knockout.
Yeah, man. By the way, Hans Molenkamp, my can is empty. Where you at? Yeah, I mean, Jeka Saragi. I mean, I was surprised. And the funny thing is, like, I'm watching this on my screen. And a friend of mine who also watches MMA, he's like, that's not my words. He's like, Lucas Alexander is kind of overrated, man. I wouldn't be surprised if JK tags him and he knocks him out. And 2 seconds later, he tags him and he knocks him out. So crazy, And good for Saragi, man. I mean, he had that bad look against Anshul Jubilee, I think, in this. Dude, they don't count that as a debut, that road to UFC final, for some reason. I count it as a debut.
Yeah, but Felder's like, oh, it's your debut. Like, that's his debut. It's on a UFC card. Why is it not his debut? Of course it is.
Yeah, I agree. So
100% his debut. 100%. UFC Fight Night lose with Spivak.
Yeah.
I know it took place at like 4 in the morning or whatever, 2 in the morning, whatever the fuck it was, but he won that. That was a UFC fight that he lost, in my opinion.
I agree with you. So second fight, very well done. Short notice fight for Lucas Alexander, but still, I mean,
gotta win that fight, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised. Not gonna lie, I wasn't like high on Saragi. I'm happy for him; he won. But I was like, Lucas Alexander. He looked pretty good in this last fight. Against Steven Peterson. I was one of my more confident picks on the card. So, and I fucked that one up.
And your boy, what's his name? Lucas is 1-2 now in the UFC and 8-4 in his career. I mean, he gets one more fight, I would imagine, because he is a decent prospect. But man, he's got to win his next fight or get cut. Your girl Eileen Perez defeats Lucy. Oh no, that's not your girl. Sorry, Lucia Pudilova is your girl. You picked your girl Lucia. She comes back in the third round, but little too late. Eileen won the first 2 rounds, gassed out. A lot to say. I mean, listen, like Eileen. She's interesting because, like, she shakes her ass and she talks a lot of shit. Like, I think she's interesting, like, I I don't love her personality personally, but like at least it gets people talking, so that's a good thing. And then of course the whole incident at the PI with Jocelyn Edwards and now her coaches, and I saw Alex Davis was involved, and it's fucking weird. Do you think her and Jocelyn Edwards get cut? Because that's kind of what Alex was saying in the Discord chat. Do you think that happens, or?
It's possible.
I don't know if he said for sure, by the way, but I think he said it's a possibility, right? I think he did.
Yeah, right? I know the UFC was really upset about it, obviously, because it happened in PI. But yeah, if the story is true that her coach attacked Jocelyn from the back and that she punched Jocelyn, if that's true, that's really bad.
Yeah.
I more people claiming that actually, So I don't know how much is true because I wasn't there, but. To be really honest, if you want to really have my opinion here, both girls are not worth to be really considering about this being like, oh, so bad. We're not talking here about like super top 10 prospects. These are like almost like the bottom of the barrel right now in the UFC. And listen. They got to figure out who started it, and who started it got to be the fuck out. You know what I mean? But
I mean, Edwards is not that good, anyways. Like, if they have to get rid of one of them, it's gonna be Edwards. I think.
I mean, if Edwards didn't start it, they shouldn't get rid of her.
That's true. They got to do the investigation.
And Perez, she won the first 2 rounds, and I saw a thing with like that shaking the ass or the twerking. And you get that weird angle that she's twerking, and then they do a close shot of her son, and her son is like looking like, "What the fuck's happening here?" or something.
Great role model.
And people are like, "Are you guys soft?" No, we're not soft, But I mean, you can twerk all day long like you want, but shouldn't do it in front of your kid, I think. But that's just me. Maybe people have different values than I have. But
wait, did she say her OnlyFans is free? Did she say that?
Yeah, and she also said it's art and not pornographic. Well, we can both confirm without having OnlyFans that is not true.
Oh, I gotta see the pictures. I gotta see this. Let's see. I don't have OnlyFans. I'll just have to use Google. Let's see if I can find something here. I swear I've seen something about her before. I think in the Discord again. Let's see here. Oh wow! I see her ass. Her asshole. Oh my god. Oh, bro, have you seen the pictures?
Yeah, of course.
Holy shit, she's like literally showing her asshole. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
That's wild, bro. Anyways, yeah. Wow. I didn't know it was like that. Okay, that's cool. Good for her.
But it's art.
It's art. It's fucking it's fucking art. I want to skip the next one for a sec because I want to get back to it. But let's quickly just the Esteban Johnson fight. This fight sucked, to be honest with you. Like 22 takedown attempts for this guy. Only got 3 of them. 10 minutes of control almost. Johnson, huge third round. He outlanded him 54-9, but not enough to get the 10-8. Does Charles Johnson get cut?
I don't know, man. The thing with Charles Johnson is like, I think he's better than he's showing sometimes, And yeah, and somebody was talking shit to him on Twitter because I think I posted Vic Altamirano against Felipe dos Santos yesterday, and he replied under the tweet like, "I never get one of these guys to fight, to fight me. He's like those fun fights." And then somebody said like, "Dude, you should have won yesterday. You should have went for broke. You have a low fight IQ." And then he's going after dude. He's like, "Dude, I did everything I could to finish the guy in the 3rd round, but I couldn't put him away." And that dude is like, "Yeah, because you have a low fight IQ." I was like, "Dude, why are you feeding the troll? Let him go, But Johnson was annoyed by it, obviously. I think he was close winning it, the 3rd round, but the first 2 rounds he lost, And here is the thing, and I think the Felder was really clear about that, and I agree with Felder. How hard did Esteban try to make that weight? How hard did he try to make that one?
I think he did.
Yeah, because if he didn't want that that zombie mode 125, 126 weight, if he did, he might have gassed out earlier even. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, but didn't he come back for a second attempt or no? Did he?
Sorry?
Did he come back for a second?
I actually don't know. I don't know. I know Eileen Perez came back and she made it, but I don't know.
Maybe it was just Perez. I could be wrong with that. My apologies if I am. I'm just trying to think. So Perez ended up making weight. Esteban missed. Who's the other fighter that missed? Someone else missed.
Yeah, someone else missed as well.
I forgot now.
Lucas Alexander.
That's right, and he loses. Yeah, so the weight missers go 1-1 on the card.
Yeah, 2-1.
No, yeah, 2-1.
2-0.
No,
1-1. You're right.
no,
Oh,
because Perez made it.
1-1. You're right. Yeah.
All right. Anyways, we're good with that fight. Okay, this is the fight I want to talk about. Trey Ogden, Nicholas Mata. No contest. I mean, this is, to me, Marcel, this is a fucking travesty. This is a fucking robbery.
Disgrace. Yeah.
This is crazy. This is fucking disgusting. They did Trey Ogden so fucking dirty. Like, clearly winning the fight. You look at the scorecards, 2 of the judges had him winning the first and second round, and he was clearly winning the third, and probably would have won 10-8 in the third. It had kept going on like that. Mike Beltran completely fucks this up. Nicholas Mata was breathing. You could see it. He was breathing. And like, what's he supposed to do? Like, he's like, come on, show me. Like, he's fighting the choke with his hands. Is he supposed to be like, yep, I'm good. Here's 2 thumbs up. Like, 5 stars on this movie. Like, I don't understand, like, what Mike Beltran was, like, looking for there. Like, he was breathing, right? He was breathing. That should be enough for the ref. Again, we've only said good things about Mike Beltran. I think the only time we've said, like, something negative was the fight between Priscilla Cachoeira and what's the girl's name? Gina Mazzini. That's the only one, right? Yeah. Where he stood her up from, like, I think it was, on the ground, and then she got knocked out.
Yeah.
That's the only time I can remember saying anything bad about Mike Beltran. I think he's a very good ref. He fucked this up. He fucked it up, dude. And Ogden, I don't know if you saw his post, right? He's pissed. He's like, dude, he's like, I got cost half my win bonus.
Rightly so.
Or he got his full win bonus. Did they pay him? Do you know if they paid him?
I don't know. And the thing, like, I was thinking about messaging him because he follows me on Instagram. Maybe I should do it. But on the other hand, I'm like, it's not my business if they pay him, Yeah,
but he did make it our business because he talked about it.
True.
So I think it's okay. I think it's fine. I think it's okay.
I'll do it.
Yeah, if he didn't say anything, then it's a little weird. But he talked about it. I want to see if he said anything. Go ahead, keep going.
So, about that fight, I mean, it was a clear 2-0 going into the third round, and he had him in an arm triangle, and there was somebody on Twitter was discussing with me. I was like, he cannot reply to the ref because he's holding that choke with his arm, and the ref is trying that arm, and that person is like, yeah, but you can still do it. I was in that choke, I did it. I was like, okay, whatever. I didn't reply, but I was like, if Beltran wants to feel, try the other arm. Try the other arm if you want a reply. That other arm was possible. This one wasn't possible. So that's just bad. And the thing is, you cannot give that a submission because it wasn't a submission. It wasn't fulfilled. But then why don't we go to the judges' scorecards after 2.5 rounds is already over? You know what I mean? And then Ogden should still get the win by technical decision, and he still has the win bonus.
That's the thing. Like, I thought it would have went to the scorecards because it was past the 2.5 minute round mark of the third round. I think actually it just has to be in the third round. I think in general, right? This should have went to the scorecards. Like, I don't get it. People, like, I saw John McCarthy. He was talking about it. He said, "Well, just say like Mota was winning the first 2 rounds, and then this happened. Like it would have been unfair to him." Okay, but he wasn't. So I think Ogden got fucked. I think people bet on him got fucked. We both had him as a consensus dog. Marcel, did I not say I'm like he should not be the underdog here? I talked about last week. He should clearly be the favorite. He was better fighter everywhere. Nicholas Mata is just not. He's not that good. I think he. You know what? Even though it was a no contest, I think they're going to cut him. What do you think?
It's very possible, man. He's now 1-2 and then 1-0 contest.
That's his 4 fights, right?
Yeah, 4 fights. So it's probably I would be surprised because listen, man. I hate it for Nicholas because I've talked to Nicholas before. He's a super nice guy as well.
Yeah.
So actually, I when I said like Ogden got robbed, I feel bad to say that because I talked to Mota as well.
But he did.
But Mota knows as well, So just stupid, that it happens and they can't make it right, and that's what most annoying because Ogden deserved the win. He deserved the win bonus and he deserves all the credits for that fight, And there's 100%. Now a no contest and nobody will talk about it in 2 years.
For sure. Now I'm looking at Ogden's Instagram. He's saying that they're supposed to talk today, so it's possible they've already talked. He said the UFC commission and him are going to talk. So really, what should happen is this should be deemed to win via technical decision, right? He should go to the scorecards. He should win, and then he should get his win bonus. I mean, the win bonus is the thing that I think he's not. I don't think he's concerned about his record. It's the win bonus. Because like these guys put in so much hard work, and again, he's probably on. I'm assuming like a. What do you think? 12-12, 14-14, something like that. Maybe 20-20. Probably not.
Why do you see that they're going to talk?
It's on his Instagram. We'll look at it. The last picture, the last one he posted. It says right there, their commission's reviewing it Monday. It says that. See?
Oh, yes,
yeah. So, anyways, I just checked. But yeah, he got fucked. And the people who bet on him got fucked. That's the thing. Like, people are like talking about this is corruption. Like, it could be. I think it could be, man. Like, there was probably a lot of dog money that came in on him. They're like, okay, shit. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying that Mike Bellator had anything to do with that by any means. I'm not saying he did. I don't know who made this decision. Who made this decision to call it no contest? Was it Herb Dean?
I think probably an official on the sideline.
Mark Ratner? Mark Ratner?
I don't know.
What's that guy's name? Bob Bennett? No, not Bob Bennett. Who's the guy that does that MC? Like, what's his name? The guy with the goatee and he does the weights. What's his name?
Oh, that's Mark. I think that's Mark Ratner, right?
No. Mark Ratner's the old guy.
You mean yeah. I don't know how his name is.
Shit, what's his name? I'm trying to think right now what his name is.
Say my name.
No, but who someone's got to know this guy's name. He's the guy that does all the weigh-ins. He stands there and moves the scale. That little, the thing you hate. What's his name? What's his fucking name?
I always have to laugh, dude. If he's like click 171, and then Brandon Fitzgerald is like, for example, 171 for whoever, and then always a girl in the audience. I don't know if it's a girl from the UFC or somebody else. Was it 171 or what did he say? 171. Okay, then the next one. Click. 135. Brandon Fitzgerald. 135 for her, and then she's 10 seconds later. Did he say 135? It's so funny to me.
That's funny. What's the guy's name though? Like, come on, someone's got to help me out here. The guy that does all the weights. What's his name, Marcel? Come on, you got to know this shit.
Weight guy.
Is it the executive director? Is that his name? Let me see here. Oh, Mullen. Jeff Mullen. That's
Jeff Mullet. Mullen, yeah.
A couple of comments. Ogden got fucked. He absolutely did. Argetta didn't get paid. Okay, so he should have too probably, but that was first round. That's the difference, right? Like, that fight could have been different. This fight was not changing. I mean, this guy was done. He was like full mounted basically with the arm triangle. Hey, what's up, Moise? He's right. The Beltran fight, Marcel. This one, Carbush and Velasquez, the first one, I want to say, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit, yeah.
Blake, what's up, brother? If you want to ask questions today, Blake, throw them in there. I know that last week we didn't get to your questions, so throw them in and we'll answer it today. Glenn, another week, another ref judge screwing fighters, no sign of being better. It's been like this ever since I started watching the sport years ago. So, okay, so that's good for UFC, Marcel. That was great, obviously. I say we get into Bellator, the Bellator recap, Marcel. Pull up Bellator 301. So, we can briefly touch on the sale of the PFL, but we're going to do the PFL preview in a second. Not in a second, like 5 minutes. So we'll do another podcast with that. But let's just quickly go through the Bellator card, Marcel. I think that's a good idea. So I didn't expect this in the main event. Jason Jackson knocking out Aryasov Avasov. I didn't expect this at all. Did you?
No, not at all.
Holy shit.
Listen, I'm super happy for Jackson. The guy, people always say in the training ground, like, this guy is super legit, great training partner. He's world class. And this was his night, man. He stopped every takedown. He looked good. He looked sharp. And happy for the dude, and a great end for Bellator on Showtime, I think, I think it was an amazing performance by Jason Jackson. It surprised me. I think he's legit, but it surprised me. But yeah, I mean, to put Amasov away like he did, amazing, man.
No, it was, man. I mean, this was a massive win for this guy, and I guess he's going to go to PFL now, and it'll be interesting to see how, because he's on a 7-fight win streak. He's the champion, right? So he's going to fight. They're doing a champion versus champion card next year, apparently. PFL versus Bellator. I think that's awesome. So there is a welterweight champ that's going to be crowned this week. In PFL, and he'll fight the winner that I believe in that card. So that'd be interesting. Okay. I missed this question right, Blake. Zach Reese, I think he should beat Cody Barnes, but that card's not this week. Yeah, that card's next weekend. So
next week, yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later on, Blake. We'll talk about it next week, just because I haven't had a chance to look at the whole card yet, but I'm pretty sure he beats Cody Barnes. I think Cody's going to be cut after this too. I don't think the UFC was very thrilled with the way that last fight went. Patty Mix, Marcel. This is the guy that I'm so pissed is going to PFL, not the UFC, because PFL doesn't even have a bantamweight division, do they? I don't think they do, right?
No. They don't have a bantamweight and not a middleweight, so yeah.
So he doesn't have a champion fight, and same with Johnny Eblen. So yeah. I think this guy is the best fighter in Bellator right now. Do you agree or no? Do you agree with me or no?
The funny thing is, like, the two guys, they don't have a weight class for our PFL are likely two of the best guys of Bellator has right now, And Mix, I tell you honestly, man, people ask me, if you put Patchy Mix right now against Sean O'Malley, fuck, dude. Listen, no disrespect to O'Malley. I pick Patchy Mix. You know, I think Patchy Mix is
I
more
think he wins
complete.
that fight.
Yeah, I mean, Patchy Mix was already a big prospect when he was a King of the Cage champion, and the
Yep.
UFC fumbled on him
Why didn't they sign
completely.
him? Do you know?
I have no idea at all, because he wanted to be in the UFC. He said it many times on Twitter.
Mhm.
No reply back then. Went to Bellator. Only lost one fight against Archuleta, right? He won everything else. And dude, the tournament run, Kyoji Horiguchi decision, Magomedov finish, Rufian Stotts finish, Sergio Pettis finish. That is probably one of the best runs in a tournament I've ever seen, you know. And the dude is super legit. I'm really, really high on him. Now, I was still on the fence before he fought Stotts because I thought Stotts really good as well. But man, he shut me up there. And from that moment, I was like sold. I already thought he was good, but that was the moment I was sold. And I think he can be 100%. And if he was in the UFC, he'd be top 5 for sure, maybe even champion, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he's good. I agree, Tristan. What's up, man? I completely agree, Tristan. It's a good thing for the sport that they're merging, right? Or they're not merging, but right? I think they're still. They're running opposite two promotions right now?
What I think is going to happen, and this is not set in stone or whatever, but what I think is like they're going to do definitely 2 different. They do PFL and Bellator. They're going to do, I think, 8 Bellator events.
Yes,
it's going to be called like the Bellator International Fight Series or something.
Really?
So you got like PFL, Bellator, and they can switch, you know. But the thing is, like, I'm hearing that Don Davis said they want to do in February or March. They want to do the champion versus champion fights. But what's going to happen? Imagine, Patchy Mix can't now, you know, because there is no division. But imagine there was like a bantamweight champion in PFL, right? And they do like Patchy Mix against whoever the fuck it was, you know, and Patchy Mix wins. Is he the PFL champion then? Does he represent the PFL from that moment? You know, there are all like things you don't know for sure. So what I personally think is that they're going to do those 8 Bellator events next year. And after that, they probably merge into PFL and Bellator dissolves. That's what I think is going to happen, but I'm not sure. But yeah, it's interesting, you know. And if you look at the champion versus championship fights, I honestly only probably favor Magomed Karim Al-Sadi Boussi winner against maybe Jason Jackson, but all the others, I think Bellator has the upper hand, probably, you know.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree. Our boy Mike, tremendous job, gentlemen. Appreciate it, Mike. Thanks, brother. He's kicking ass too. Mike
is amazing.
Yeah, he's a great handicapper, man. He's been making money for many years, so you're killing it, Mike. Marcus, who would you favor to win, Mix or Merab? See, that's tough because again, it's all styles, right? I think
train with each other as well sometimes, right?
Extreme or
I don't know. I saw Merab and I saw a training picture of both of them.
Yeah, they might have. Yeah, I mean, I kind of probably Merab because I know we can go hard for the 5, but I don't know. Mix is great. And Mix could just take his neck at some point. Mm-hmm. Jake Matthews not attempting a single takedown, incredibly low IQ. I just checked; there was 1 takedown attempt failed, and I think Morales is a pretty good grappler too. He's known for his striking, but yeah, I mean, he should have been, you know, really pursuing that wrestling because he got outstruck. I take Mix over Merab. It's possible he can sleep him. It's definitely possible. McKee should go to featherweight and PFL. Yeah, he should. What's up, brother? Snake the man at bantamweight. Who's the Snake?
Snake the man. Does he mean TJ?
It's probably TJ. How many pockets? It's up, Pato. We're doing one more. We're almost there. Anderson lost to 0 to ass kick machine. Jason Jackson's been a good fighter for a long time, underrated. You know, honestly, I completely underrated him in this fight. I've been picking him for many years. It's just like I'm like, oh, Emerson's 27. No, you can't pick against him. But
and also, let's say Jason Jackson deserved title shot, man. He waited so long and he deserved it. I'm happy he got it, and he made the most out of it. So yeah.
Guy that I think he got injured, right, on Contender, didn't he get injured? Yeah, and they never called him back. Like, he's a guy that's always been on the UFC's radar and my radar too, and he's got a really good record in Bellator. It's 8-1, very good record in Bellator. So he's a good fighter. Rafian Stotts defeats Sabatello. Adrian McKee defeats Sidney Outlot. Alexander Shabley defeats Patricky Pitbull. Any quick thoughts on those 3 fights?
Dude, I want to see Shabley against Usman, you know.
Are they going to do that fight anymore?
Like, I don't know, but I want to see that. That's a great fight, you know, one of the better fights they can make. I don't know if they're going to do that, probably not now, but man, that would be such a great fight. I mean, you saw Rufian Stotts laughing that Danny Sabatello couldn't leave the cage. He's like, you have to stay here. That was funny. And AJ McKee, I was kind of underwhelmed, man, with how I would feel like Bellator should have put him more into the like AJ McKee. AJ McKee is like a homegrown
Yeah,
talent. You know what I mean?
he's their guy.
Yeah, man. This should have making him a bigger star, in my opinion. But hey,
I agree.
the thing is, like, I always say to you, I like Bellator, but the advertisement always is like, you know,
Bro,
if you
go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry, please.
Yeah,
No,
if
finish,
you
please.
compare it to the UFC or even the PFL, they post every fucking hour,
I know.
you know, and even more. And Bellator sometimes don't post for 5 hours, you know.
I was just gonna say, like, honestly, if we didn't do the podcast, I would have forgot this card was happening. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not like it was something I was like, you know, super excited for. Like the card was good. It's just again, they don't do enough promotion. But maybe that'll change with PFL. Apparently, PFL is like double the amount of employees or something than Bellator did.
Okay.
Also, the Bellator people were invited to work for PFL. We'll see what that happens. I would imagine some end up with the UFC and like some of those guys, like what's his name? Who's the guy? Michael Fidel, right? Or is he still with them or no? He used to be a journalist. You know what I'm talking about, right, Michael?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And there's the other guy.
Danny Brenner.
Danny Brenner and CJ Tuttle's and other guys. These guys they've been with Bellator for years, so we'll see. Prelims, I honestly didn't really get a chance to watch them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I watched the two Dutch fighters.
Your girl Denise won, so
yeah, and she deservedly won, man. I mean, and that's what I said to people. Like, listen, Sumiko Inaba is above her, but the only credible opponent she beat probably Vita Ortega, you know, and that's somebody Denise lost to, but it was early in her career, you know. So, and with Peter, listen, Peter is a good fighter, but the thing is, like Archie Colgan, super dominant man with his wrestling, and he couldn't stop the takedown, and Colgan won. You know, Colgan was a big favorite as well coming into the fight. So, yeah, I mean, good win for Archie Colgan, good win for Denise. Yeah, what can you say about else? The thing is, like, I see there a comment about Abdelaziz can get mixed in the UFC. Gotta wonder why he doesn't. Glenn said that. The thing is, like, I think Mix recently signed a contract renewal with Bellator, so he probably can't.
That's the problem. Well, I mean, he might got a lot of money anyway, so he's. I'm guessing he's on it. He might just be on a flat deal. Like, I know Bellator pays their top guys like flat money. They don't have to win to get their full money because they're going to get a lot. Like, I know Bader and those guys, Corey Anderson, those dudes, I'm pretty sure.
Fuck, dude, he won $1 million.
Yeah, no, for sure. By the way, it's not Snake who was a dragon. He's talking about Jonathan Martinez, and yes, that guy's fucking great. So, my bad. I thought it was a snake for some reason.
Me too.
I just couldn't. Yeah, it is a dragon though. Actually, I'm so excited for Mekdebek. Yeah, he's good. Chablis will wreck the PFL tournament. Probably. I think he could beat those guys that were fighting this weekend, like Collard and OAM. Thoughts on Aries? I didn't see.
I gotta say, Crazy Patu. The thing is, like a couple of years ago, dude, I watch ACA, I watch Aries, I watch Bellator, I watch Cage Wars. The thing is, that right now, I have so much work here and there with Eurosport Discovery Plus that I really have to pick what I watch, you know. And we broadcast UFC, Cage Warriors. So there's where what I watch Bellator, PFL, but like all these, like this Aris kind of thing, the what's the promotion FFC where Alex always goes. It's FFC, right? The one that where Morono is like the interview.
Fury Fighting Championship.
Fury FC. Sorry, Fury. Listen, man, all fun to watch, but I just don't have the time for it sometimes. You know, I wish I had more time, and that's why I kind of been like, I don't watch as much anymore as I did before. So, you know, but I always try to catch the highlights if I can't watch it live, you know.
Fair enough.
But UFC, for example, I watch everything. I try to watch Cage Warriors, everything. PFL as well, Bellator main card, and also listen, if there's like, I'm at the ranking panel at Bellator, right?
Yeah.
So the simple thing is, like, if there's an important fight on the prelims, I gotta watch it because I'm not gonna say like, you know, that guy won against that, so I'm gonna I have to see it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
No, absolutely fair enough. All right, a couple other comments here. You guys know what happened to Joe Silva? He got paid off after the deal and just fucked off. I guess he's probably in some island somewhere, fucking drinking margaritas. I don't know. I hope he's still watching the sport because you know what, Marcel? Whenever there was a knockout or submission, I would go back and like look to see where he was by the cage because he used to like take his headphones off and like freak out. Like he would.
Yeah.
He was
and he walks in the cage and gives a shook of hand. Right?
Yeah, you shake their hand to the winner, the loser. You just like, But you know, yeah, no. I think the thing with Joe Silva was like he was like a fan like us, and he used to watch like the tapes of like Pancrase and like Pride and all this shit and
Mm-hmm.
UFC. Like I think even earlier, right? That because he came in, I think, mid '90s, and then he would send the tapes, I think, to like whoever was in charge of the UFC and was like, "Hey, these are some guys you should get signed," and then they eventually brought him in, right? So. I understand a lot. Okay, yeah, no, Aries is definitely the best one. One of the best ones in Europe. I wouldn't say the best, but it's one of the best. Marcel, if you were UFC panelist, what would your criteria be? Like what quality wins?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, the thing is like also pound for pound ranking, and I personally don't really care about pound for pound. Ranking is, and I would have like if you don't fight for a year, you're out of my ranking. And actually, Brandon Allen brought that up on the on the pre-fight presser. He's like, you guys have Khamzat Chimaev in front of me. He's like, dude, guy fought a blowed up welterweight, and he comes in above me. It's stupid. He says everybody was on the ranking panelists. Is there somebody here on the panelists of the ranking? And one guy, I think, Ken, put it on up his hand. He's like, you don't ask me any questions. He's laughing. And then that dude wants to ask him any questions. He's like, no. I told you, you're ranking panelists. You're not going to get any questions. And today, he was playing a little bit with it. But yeah, that's the thing, And yeah, I feel like if you're a ranking panelist, and I try to do it with Bellator, be honest. And that's a difficult thing, because Bellator had supposed to have Juliana Velasquez against Paula Cristina on the card last weekend. And Juliana is number one contender, I think. And Paula Cristina is not even ranked. And Paula Cristina lost her last fight to Denise Kielholzer debut. So imagine if Paula Cristina wins against Juliana Velasquez. I have to put her above Velasquez.
Yeah.
But also above Kilos. But because I cannot put Kilos above Velasquez because Kilos lost to Velasquez. So that makes it so difficult. And that's I always talk about it with my colleague on the Bellator rankings, Santiago. I was like, this doesn't make sense, I understand they want to have matchmaking, but matchmaking have to be like making sense. You cannot do like number one contender against unranked, because if the unranked wins, you have to put the number one contender, Yeah.
Well, you're not wrong. It's a call. I'm glad I don't have to fucking do it. I'll just say you would pay well because you don't know who. Oh, Joe Silva, yeah. Allen ranked. Yeah, there's some weird rankings. Anyways, I think we're good here, Marcel. Let's just end this one. We're gonna start a new podcast, guys. We're gonna do the PFL preview. So appreciate everyone joining us. I'm just gonna end this one, but yeah, join us for a second here. And if you're not gonna make the second podcast, that's fine. But we'll be back next week for the UFC Austin preview. Can't wait for that card. But yeah, join us in about two or 3 minutes from now, guys. I'll tweet out the link. Peace.